There it is, folks. Aaron Rodgers has finally signed. I never thought the day would come until after mandatory minicamp, but I was surprised to find out that Aaron Rodgers is going to be heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers before mandatory minicamp, making sure he reports and is with his new team in the offseason. It is Aaron Rodgers turning a new page for the Pittsburgh Steelers, teaming up with DK Metcalf. You have Caleb Johnson, who just got drafted there as well. And we all know the type of defense that Mike Tomlin and crew roll out every season in Pittsburgh. This team does not have losing seasons. We all know the New York Jets last season had a losing season and a ton of drama to go along with it. Rodgers was one of the guys that was out the door from that Jets team, found himself in free agency, and yes, he might be past his prime. Yes, Aaron Rodgers might not necessarily be a top 10 quarterback in the league anymore, but yes, Aaron Rodgers can help this Pittsburgh Steelers team. I think that with Aaron Rodgers in here, the new offensive weapons for the Pittsburgh Steelers that they could potentially roll out this year could provide a sneaky team in the AFC North. We know how tough this division is year in, year out, but the Pittsburgh Steelers once again found themselves in mediocrity last year where they find a way to go above 500, make a playoff berth, and then get absolutely rammed in the playoffs in the first round, which is something that I know Steelers fans are incredibly frustrated with, and they want a little bit more upside. And that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers can give you compared to what they had the quarterback situation last year with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, is that Aaron Rodgers can provide that high upside when you need it on third down and you need your quarterback to go make a play or go win on a 2-minute drill. I want to showcase how Aaron Rodgers can still win despite being over 40 years old and having a down year for the New York Jets. So let's hop right into this film and show why Aaron Rodgers can get the Steelers past the first round of the playoffs. We all know Aaron Rodgers so well from the tight window throws, being able to put the ball anywhere he wants, and you still see that a lot of the time with Aaron Rodgers when you turn on the tape. You're going to see Breece Hall have a tight window up here. Aaron Rodgers just places a perfectly ball, absolutely dotted for a touchdown. And this is what you still see on a week-to-week basis from Aaron Rodgers, is that despite, him being older, him struggling over the last season, he's still able to fit a window into his receiver with less than a step. Perfect spot. Only his guy can get it. And that's where Aaron Rodgers is still excelling despite being a little bit older and not having the success he once had in Green Bay. On this play right here, we'll see one of the rare cases at the end of the season where Rodgers' mobility actually looked like he did, maneuvering through the pocket, finding a way to keep his eyes down the field, and finding a receiver for an open touchdown. Looks like prime Rodgers right there. Let's break it down real quick. One of the things that Rodgers does still do very well, his pocket presence, I think, is still pretty good. He still is able to read a pass rush very well and understand the lanes he needs to maneuver through. Now, it might not be as quick as it once was, but he understands what he can do to move through this pocket. He sees holes right here that he continues to work through, and in the red zone, he keeps his eyes down the field. Now, maybe in his prime, yes, he goes and tries to score this touchdown right here, and he gets there very easily, but he sees his guy open up freely here, sees both defenders crashing towards him, able to keep his eyes downfield and make a play like that. The improvisation of Aaron Rodgers and the creativity of him when he gets outside the pocket is still there. Now, his ability to get there might not be as good, but like I just showed on this play, the pocket presence is still elite. He still knows how to maneuver a pocket when a pass rush is breaking down and understanding where the pass rush lanes are and where to go, which still gives the team a great chance of making a play and improvising like Rodgers has done his entire career. All right, what you're going to see on this play here is the 49ers running a cover 3 type scheme with a safety that is following this vertical route down the field in a deep zone coverage. What Rodgers does really good still is he's able to hit these throws down the field and have elite precision passing, which, a lot of quarterbacks don't have in this league right now. Rodgers' touch has not changed one bit. He still can make a play where he's in the pocket, throws an absolute dart. He has 2 defenders closing in on a pass and has to fit it in a tight window and finds Allen Lazard here for a long touchdown. What Rodgers excels at is these type of throws. He is able to make a precision pass down the field and make it look effortless, just like he's always done his entire career. Watching this just play through, this just looks like prime Aaron Rodgers. Looks through, takes a deep shot down the field, beautiful ball in between 2 safeties, and gets a big chunk play because of it. Rodgers' accuracy is not what was the concern for him in New York, and what is the concern heading into next year? The accuracy is still elite. His ball placement is still extremely good, and that's why I think Aaron Rodgers can be very good still in this offense. While the arm talent might still be there for Aaron Rodgers, and he is still a pretty accurate quarterback, the arm strength isn't necessarily what it once was. You're going to watch him have a pretty good shot play at the top of your screen here, and Rodgers doesn't get enough onto this ball, underthrows a ball that's about 50 yards, let's say. I don't think he has that in his bag anymore to hit those deep shots, and I think with DK Metcalf on the squad, that is what he excels at. He's going to have to be able to find a way to get his arm back to where it was. At this point, prime Aaron Rodgers throws this ball right at the 25, allows his receiver to make a nice play under it, splitting the safeties, but it's just not there anymore. I know the receiver falls, but the ball was absolutely dying in the air. Rodgers' arm strength isn't what it once was, but he still is a very talented quarterback maneuvering the ball through defenders. Another big knock of Aaron Rodgers over the last few seasons is that he tends to hold the ball too long, almost being a little bit too conservative with the football. And you'll see right here, he has his first read open, passes on his second read as well, and winds up getting sacked in the backfield, taking a loss when he doesn't have to, when he can get this ball out of his hands. Yes, Rodgers typically plays very safe, and yes, his interception numbers are down because of it, which is awesome, but ultimately sometimes you need to go make a play, and Rodgers either needs to throw the ball away and avoid taking less sacks, or he needs to be more aggressive in making tighter window throws, which we haven't seen him do in the last few seasons. What I will say, though, about this is Russell Wilson was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league at getting these pressures when, he could have got the ball out of his hands, taking a sack for no reason. Rodgers is a step up from that, so that is a positive, but it is something that Aaron Rodgers has struggled with over the last few seasons. There is all the film that I think you guys need to see, and that is worthy of looking at it from New York Jets Aaron Rodgers. We all know his time with the Green Bay Packers was special. This is a Hall of Fame quarterback we're talking about who has multiple MVP awards and a Super Bowl to his name. Throughout his time in Green Bay, he led this team despite not having a ton of talent on the offensive side of the ball on a consistent basis, or the defensive side of the ball on a consistent basis, to long playoff bursts and a ton of great seasons in Green Bay. Who is to tell me that Aaron Rodgers, with an elite defense in Pittsburgh, he has a great weapon in DK Metcalf and receiver, and he has a long-time winning coach in Mike Tomlin that is a great recipe for success for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. This will be the best team Aaron Rodgers has had since he left Green Bay, which is a great sight to see. My biggest concerns, though, are the division and the conference that they play in. Look, the reality of the situation is you play the Bengals twice, you play the Ravens twice. We know the Browns aren't going to be as good, but the Browns and Steelers are typically always tough matchups. And then you have to deal with the AFC teams on top of that. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Chargers, the Broncos. Like, these are all legit teams that are problems around the league right now. And I think the Steelers are one step closer to competing with those teams, but this move doesn't necessarily move them into the conversation as a Super Bowl contender on the AFC side of things. Yes, I think Aaron Rodgers can completely help this team despite his regression starting to show past the age of 40, but the reality of the situation is that they play an incredibly tough conference, and it is going to be tough sledding for the Steelers to make it past the first round once again, despite Aaron Rodgers being an upgrade at the quarterback position. The Steelers have their work cut out for them, but if there's anybody in a combination of a head coach and quarterback to get the Steelers past the first round, it could be Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this addition for the Steelers, and does it move the needle for them in 2025. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports Media content, and I will catch you guys next time.